So welcome, everybody. We've got round 3. Now, in terms of the order of things, this is slightly out of order. Essentially, due to player schedules, we did have to have this one played a little bit earlier. By the way, I'm going to move st4rk to the blue and Dennis to the red. That seems like a better fit for me. So yeah, round 3. There's only 4 rounds in the bronze bracket. These players, win or lose, are already confirmed to be in silver. But the winner then goes to essentially a final decider to potentially even make it into gold. st4rk has been in gold before. He was relegated out of gold. He wants to get back. I think he can do it. But for st4rk, the issue these days is more so consistency. And I think that time he was relegated out, he really was not playing very sharp. He wasn't playing as actively. But now he is, and he's looking to get back. Dennis, a player who has risen up over the last couple years, a player who used to play League of Legends, apparently. Very solid player here. He's playing as the Woo. And I think he will do good things in our esports scene. Do I expect him to be top 10? Probably not. But I think he could start to build up and work his way deeper and deeper into tournaments, which is why TTL is kind of perfect for a player like him. st4rk has been around a really long time. He's more of a classic pro. So if you were to look it up, there might not be many results between these two, even though st4rk's been around forever. So I really like the Woo. I think the Woo are one of the best civs for this map. If you combine water and land aggression, Dennis has already transported his scout. He sees that villager, and he wanted to snipe the villager, but st4rk had actually brought 2. So st4rk saves his vill. st4rk will complete the house there. And with Dravidians, you get the pop space from the house. It's very smooth builds. Dravidians are probably the better flexible... better civ in terms of flexibility. And I think Woo... It's all about those man-at-arms, man. All about the man-at-arms. All about the Jean Swordsman. You do get some food when you build the dock, which is nice with the Woo. But I think the wood flexibility is really the biggest thing because you don't have a ton of wood to work with on this island here. So, I hope st4rk's not planning on fighting just full water and not respecting the landing potential because you do start with the transport. This is one of the toughest maps to play because usually you need to move out and take the wood, take the stone, take the golds. But yeah, thank you everybody. I've been enjoying it so far. Bronze has been fun. We'll be casting more and more over the next 2 weeks. I hope you guys are interested in it. I hope you guys stick around and enjoy the show. Shout out to everyone who has been watching on Extras as well. Hoping to ramp up the upload speed to get things on the Extras channel a bit faster for you. The team is going to be working hard at that. And okay, for YouTube's sake, because this would have been edited out, so I can explain my Twitch chat's behavior. st4rk's in-game name is Daddy st4rk, and I removed it because I'm trying to get sponsors and I'm trying to talk about how professional the esports scene is, right? It's like, it reminds me of Fire. I'm like, okay, I put in like 3 hours on calls and this and that to try and get, bump up the professionalism of our scene. Then I load up to cast, and Fire's name is El Gordo, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? Anyways, it's not that big a deal. That's why everyone's saying that they're missing, like, Daddy right now, because st4rk called himself Daddy. And, yeah, we can move on from that. So, the big thing with Woo is they're most likely going man-at-arms. Now, where are they going man-at-arms from? Are they building the barracks on this island? Because I don't think that's the smartest play. Could potentially build the barracks on this island. You also could just play water, and then you could go for Jean Swordsman later on. All these things are an option, but I do think you have to respect that could come if you're st4rk. And then do you want to transport your vills and take wood and hunt on these islands if you're up against the Woo? You'll be pretty exposed then. Right now, it doesn't look like st4rk has any interest in taking that risk. He's actually brought a villager here. He's making militia. And so he might go for man-at-arms as well. The scout is over here right now. He'll see the villas are exposed. Doesn't see the barracks is on the way up yet. But I would say if st4rk sees that barracks is just now being built, he can transport these militia over. And if he brings his militia over, he's going to get the villagers here first. He could surprise Dennis, and Dennis has not scouted any of this. Dennis doesn't know that Stark is over here at all. It's a really tough map to play, like I said. So Stark's like, yeah, I can go for infantry too. Cheaper upgrades with the Dravidians. And the additional wood that you get is so nice here. Whether it be for a second dock or a fast archer range. This is going to be a really nice build for Stark, I think. I think it's important that Stark doesn't show Dennis this. I think you need to run away with this scout right now. They're both 2-hit. Yeah, they're still both 2-hit. Okay, Stark gets the kill. Dennis did see that, though. And I don't think Dennis was ever expecting that. So this actually could have been way worse for Dennis. He loses the scout, which isn't ideal. But he should have a little bit of time to get some quick walls down. It's game 1. He gets the quick walls. Stark just clicked the Rhino, and the Rhino killed the scout. That was a misclick. The tower goes up. That should protect the wood line. And so with this being the opening for Dennis, with no man-at-arms, I would assume that he's going to play water. And so double barracks, or sorry, double dock for him. And Stark says, hello, here's my transport ship. I'm going to use it again. This is so good. This is why I love man-at-arms on this map, man. Like, think of all the things that Dennis is going to have to worry about right now. It's so easy for things to go wrong. Man-at-arms can hit this wood line. Dennis, he doesn't have any army here yet. And so he has to pull off of that, go to the straggler trees. Stark could just attack houses right now if he wants to. But imagine if the Wu had man-at-arms, the weak man-at-arms are actually regenerating. It's a really strong build. Our fire galleys moving through the middle now. That's where Stark's fish are. Stark also has archers. Stark's transport ship needs to be coming back right now. It's looping the whole way around along the top. That's a really important aspect, because if he can get archers onto the islands too, it could be strong. Stark blocking with the fishing ship there for a second, but now there's another fire galley in. Stark will need to back away. Super smooth play from both players so far, but I like Stark's openings. Look at the micro from Stark as well. Fire galley's weak, no repairs yet, but got the blocks, pulls the Villa to repair now. Man-at-arms are over here. Dennis needs more quick walls. Dennis needs more fires. Now Dennis will repair. Is my chat familiar with Dennis the Menace? Or is that not something people are familiar with? Maybe some people are. I want to call Dennis the Menace, but he hasn't done anything menacing yet. We'll save that. We old? Yeah, but it's not just being old. It's also like, in some cases, where people are from, you know? Alright, so you guys know Dennis the Menace. That's good. Hector says everyone in your chat is 30 plus. That's not true. That's not true. How old is everybody? Not like emotionally, because you guys, a lot of you guys are like 12 emotionally, but I don't think everyone's 30 plus. I think we got some people in their 20s, 40s, 50s. There we go. Guys, I didn't say type your age, I said type your IQ. Man, I thought, jeez, okay. Well, that tracks. Stark redock down here. You did type your IQ. So Stark's fish are still pretty safe. His archers are going over here now, and he's bringing his transport ship back around. It's still close in terms of resources collected, but Dennis is going to need to get his archers somewhere of value. Seems like he's looking around, waiting for Stark to transport over here. That just hasn't happened yet. And Stark is just... He's had such a good opening, man. I mean, the transport's being used again. And so for now, Dennis has just walled this out. But he's going to have some real issues once the archers show up. And who cares about water when you can play land? And Stark brings the transport over, which he's used for his villagers, for his men-at-arms, for his archers. He can sit behind the gold, and Dennis cannot tower because Dennis already built the tower on land due to the opening. That's amazing from Stark. He has to be careful here, because if Dennis starts to win water, this becomes much closer, and Dennis gets a big shot. Dennis now has his own transport. Stark also has his own demo. And Dennis will have archers on the Stark's island pretty soon. I like this from Dennis. You don't need to build the mining camp. Just walk out there and collect enough stone, come back, build the tower. It's very common for a player in Stark's position to just move because there's not villagers there anymore. And Stark, he doesn't have any defense here either. And I don't even know if he's noticed this yet. And he is starting to maybe lose some control on water. We'll see on that. Yeah, Dennis is busy. He hasn't killed a villager yet. He's running away over here. Yeah, now he can back away. Now he can drop the tower on the gold. That'll end up being fine. And Stark still hasn't noticed, guys. Stark still does not notice these archers. He's looking here. He's looking here. Okay, now he notices it. And now he will tower his gold. So, similar situations where both players have most of their wood eco on their islands. And they have their gold eco on the starting island with a tower. Both dropping a market. Dennis is going to stay on stone, which is important. We could see some fire archers later. Could just see a castle later. Stark cleared up some of the ships on water. Dennis lands a nice demo, though. Dennis definitely doesn't have the navy count Stark does. And Stark is still fishing back here pretty nicely, pretty freely with the Dravidians. Stark also just killed another Vill. And both players are about to be on the way to Castle Age, but I prefer Stark's position. I think Dennis needs to just park the archers. I play this map way more than I'd like to admit to you guys in just practice games, even though I'm not allowed to play in this freaking tournament, which makes me sad. But I've learned that it's just better to just stand ground your archers than move them, because you're looking around for more damage. At this stage, just preventing that stone being taken is enough. Maybe it's because I'm slow. But, yeah, just leave them there. It'll be fine. It's already doing enough damage. Now, Dennis could make a couple Jean swordsmen in castle and then bring them over and then clear this. It wouldn't take many. So I think that's Dennis's way to get rid of this pressure. Stark has brought his archers over, but how beneficial are archers going to be against the Jean swordsmen? The Jean swordsmen are high armor, high pierce armor, very good against archers. That's all Stark pretty much has. Still not a very big navy for Dennis. And Dennis, if he wants to transport the Jean swordsman over, he needs to transport alive, and Stark just missed it. That was a big moment there. And the demo also hits as well for Dennis. He's taking the hunt. He's going for more Jean swordsman. But yeah, he needs water control to be able to transport over. Did build a dock over here. Crazy game. There's so much happening. One of my mods just said I hate Pacific Islands. Yeah, because it's freaking difficult to play, right? There's so many different things to focus on. So many things that could go wrong. It's definitely one of the toughest maps out there. And honestly, I think Stark's had this slightly better approach, just because I liked how much initiative he took. But this could still go either way. We have the War Galley upgrade now for Dennis. He wants to start to win water. We also have the transport ready to load up some Jean swordsmen. Now, Stark, he has crossbow on his starting islands, which he needs to bring over, and over here. That's an army he's investing into instead of navy. Is that actually going to be beneficial? Like, the upgrade helps here. So maybe he can get some damage done, but I don't know if the crossbowmen are really going to do what he wants. He's going to try a transport real quick. He does have the second TC up as well. Dennis backs away. That fire is on 1 HP right now. And Dennis is bringing the Jean swordsman. Jean swordsman will clear this. Dennis can start to breathe. But he will need Jean swordsman here against these crossbows. Archers are coming in clutch. Getting a kill there. Not bad. So which civ do you think has the better navy in the long run, guys? Oh, the Jean swordsmen are coming this way from Dennis. Again, I played a lot of Pacific Islands games. And I've been waiting for the chance to make a YouTube video on the Wu unique ship. Well, I guess it's not only them, but the Lu Schwans, right? I think that ship is insanely broken. and I don't think anyone really knows about it yet. Basically, if you can get the unique tech, which is this one, Luchuan Trebuchet weapons fire additional projectiles. If you can get that, those things are insanely tough to stop. So I actually think the Navy, the reason I asked the question, because I thought most people were going to say Dravidians, I actually think it's a whole lot closer than people realize. Just based on my experience. I mean, it's a really good Navy for the Wu. A Galleon, fast fire. I guess they don't get heavy demo. Oh, they do get heavy demo. And they have the Luchuan. They don't get shipwright. I think Dravidians do. So if you're comparing navies, normally the ships that get the civs that get shipwright are better. Yeah, they're amazing against other navy with the extra projectiles. Obviously, you probably want a little bit of a buffer with some fast fires, but they are really good against other ships. So we'll see if we get there. I don't know if Dennis is going to prioritize it. Right now, though, pretty even game. As I said, I think Stark's crossbowmen have gotten a little bit of value, but not as much as he would have wanted. Here, though, he's lucky he has them because Dennis wanted his siege workshop, and that gets spotted. Nice job from Stark. Has his monks around getting relics. Will probably lose these monks. But he does convert a Jean Swordsman. That's still not bad for Dennis just to annoy Stark. This should tell Dennis that you are not going to do anything on land for the time being and probably delete that. Yeah. Jean would rather die than have to switch sides. Fish is kind of a non-factor now. We're talking about eco upgrades. And the eco upgrades are really close. I wouldn't actually even hate a 4th TC at a certain stage. This feels like a really long game. And if you want those big navies, you might want the 4th town center. It's a lot of fires from Stark, but is that too many fires for a choke point? Big fat animal. First message in my chat says, water is not fun to watch. Demos/fires ZZZ. Bro. This hasn't been just water. We've had Jean Swordsman. We've had man-at-arms. We've had towers. We've had archers. We've had quick walls. I agree. If it's just like water v water, you could drop the ZZZ a little bit. But like, there's a lot of stuff happening here, man. There will be a lot of boats. There will be a lot of boats incoming, though. But I agree to disagree. I think this map produces a lot more variety than other water maps. Stark still has the higher navy count. But there is this sneaky dock here from Dennis. And, ooh, hold up. Dennis is... Uh-oh, that's bad. Ooh. That was a sick hit. Dennis is going to transport something. And he has enough stone for a castle. So I thought there was a slight chance that he would bring villagers and try and castle this. And demos landing from both. One Jean Swordsman? That's it? Well, the guy who complained about water maps wanted a couple more units there. But hey, that's something. More demos hitting. It could still... Sometimes one unit raiding is better than multiple units. Because people will notice a group of 20. They won't notice a group of 1. Yeah, this is going imp. More demos. Navy counts pretty close. All the demos they're hitting right now are landing pretty nicely. And there's the Jean Swordsman. Yeah, if you micro that back, which you might not, like, you might not think of it. But if you micro that back and send it in every 30 seconds, it gets really annoying for... for Stark. Wouldn't it be crazy if Stark builds his castle over here right now? Stark is missing the stone for his own castle. If he had 650, he might have placed it already on the other island. We have a no army castle drop. Stark sees it, and he's going to drop his own castle. He's going to drop his own castle. It's a castle war. And the Vills might not get to escape for Dennis. This is so good for Stark. Because he has more eco here. And he just happened to have the stone, right? Like, if he had the stone a little bit earlier, probably would have castled this choke over here. And then maybe this could work from Dennis. But Dennis, oh, man, this is horrible. It's a doubt. I don't think this completes. I don't see how. That's a castle. Well, it's not fully garrisoned, but it doesn't matter. It's a 90%, 93, 94, 95%, and he doesn't have the water either. 96.9%. He doesn't have the water control to be able to bring in more villagers either. That's so good for Stark. Stark can now click up to the Imperial Age. He obviously has the villager lead. I guess maybe Dennis didn't think the Wu Navy was as good. Like, it's a crazy castle if it pans out, but I would have liked to see more of a defensive castle. I would have liked to see playing towards the long-term bonuses that the Wu have. I mean, it was such an even game. Maybe Stark has had a slight lead. That's the type of play that can make or break a game for you. Unfortunately, Stark was ready for it, man. And now Stark is on the way to the Imperial Age. Now, is Stark going to try and play land from here or water? Because there's a big reason to play water now. Once you can get to Galleon and Cannon Galleon, you can range everything on land pretty easily. So I think most of the land shenanigans should be over if you're Stark. And you should just plan around the boats. Dennis might think he can complete this. From his perspective, he doesn't actually see the elephants attacking it, but he should click his castle and see how much HP he's losing. Even if you complete that, it'll just go down. And look at those docks from Stark. See, this is where I wanted that castle for Dennis. Castles in this area are really strong to prevent those docks. Might be too little too late now. Dennis is going to have to be really creative. Again, like, Stark is not known for his speed, but he's super capable, man. Think about what he did here. The man-at-arms, the archers, the navy, the eco. He's so tough to break. It's really impressive. T90, the fake T90, is currently hosting pilgrims. Dude, I tried to join the fake T90's lobby the other day, and he was AFK. So, I actually tried to join, and I said, hey, T90, and there was, you know, 2 T90s in there. But yeah, I don't know if fake T90 saw me or what. But my imposter has been hosting lobbies with T90 official pilgrims. And he's been getting lots of games, apparently. Shipwright, first thing from Stark. I mean, so good. He knows what type of game it's going to be. This tech is incredible. And the Wu don't get it. Ships will be 20% less wood and build 50% faster. It's not cheap either. 1,000 food and 300 gold. I don't know if Dennis can turn this around. Stark already has such a big position on water. He's brought in fires here to convert... monks to convert any fires. Stark is just making no mistakes. He knows about this dock. He knows about all of these docks. I think he has a couple of his ships trapped between the little rock formation there. I can't tell. Maybe he just patrolled them, but it looks like they're stuck. So that kind of hurts. I mean, props to Dennis for keeping it close economically after losing all those vills building the castle. But there's about to be 30 galleons here with full upgrades, and he doesn't have as many docks. Stark has so many docks. And the name of the game now is just take down the docks from Dennis. Makes his comeback so much more difficult for him. Dennis could try a transport somewhere, but that's the only transport. So it's not a straight water map. But it's turned into a whole lot of water now. Well played from Stark. I didn't actually get to look at the draft to see what the other maps are going to be. So I'm kind of excited to see that. Stark reminding everyone why he was a gold player before. Reminding everyone about that time he beat a certain Norwegian player in Masters of the Huns tournament in 2015. An individual who maybe is in my chat right now and is going to get mad at me that I brought it up because nobody actually remembers that except for me. Is this individual going to say something? Or is he gone now? We'll find out very quick. Okay, well, he must have left. MBL has left the building. It was like a Huns-only tournament. And MBL was the favorite. And then Stark ended up winning. I think MBL, like, beat Viper in the semis or something, too. Hey, Dennis does have a traction trap here. It seemed anything he tries from here just seems desperate. Ah, MBL is here. Ah, I'm sorry, dude. Well, MBL, if I was good enough to make it deep enough in tournaments that people remembered, you could make jokes at my expense, but unfortunately I'm a scrub, so. Castle goes up. I mean, this castle's interesting. I'm not sure about this one because traction traps can actually range it. Dennis is about to give himself a shot here. Still want to see the unique tech. Sitting Tiger. You get additional projectiles from the traction traps and the Lu Xuan. We still have yet to see Lu Xuans. But I think you need actual Navy and the Lu Xuans. I'm telling you guys, the unit is OP. I don't even know how much it costs. I think they're pretty expensive. They're so good with unique tech. I had like a 50 villager... No, I like a 60 villager lead in a game. And I had a 30 galleon lead over my opponent. And the same 15 Lu Xuans were just wrecking everything. Obviously, Eco wins games still, but this is sneaky from Dennis, too, just to take those extra wood lines. Guess he did lose. I maybe deleted his TC here. Did I completely miss something happening over here? Dennis is going to sneak to this side. Traction traps are just going to fight the boats right now. I mean, that's an option for you, I guess. Traction traps do outrange the boats. Stark is kind of running into some difficult times. Some really difficult times. Because he doesn't know how to handle these things. He's going to try cannon galleons. The cannon galleons maybe needed to come out ever so slightly faster for him. Well, he's looking for wood. He didn't really find a great spot. Maybe come down here. The Stark could spot you, though. Okay, wow. Holy trebs. We've got the traction trebs, we've got cannon galleons, and then regular trebs. Stark wants to get rid of that castle now. And this is how you do it, guys. You don't go in with 1 or 2 trebs. You got to commit to the numbers, and then that castle will just disappear. Dennis is actually taking those trees down there. But he'll lose his castle. And Stark's got some cannon galleons now. They're elite, so they will outrange the traction trebs by 1. And that is probably the game ender right there if Dennis can't deal with those. Dennis can't really transport anything here because there's a castle there now. Dennis can't really show up here because there's Navy. I really want to see Lu Xuans. He's going to try lots of galleys now. Try and get to War Galley. But his traction trebs are exposed. I think he's distracted right now. And that's the only reason he's really been able to stay alive here. Stark is also getting Woot Steel. He's getting Dry Dock. He's getting all the infantry upgrades. So I think he's thinking about a landing with champions. That could be the game ender. But I think if he just patrols his navy this way now, you just take down the docks so fast. Dennis will have a tough time recovering. Dennis will have heavy demo on the way, though. He might get some big shots. Does he know he has heavy demos coming out, though? Or did he set the rally point to the north? Yeah, see, that's... Yeah, unfortunately, the demos didn't go directly into the massive galleons there. Stark is banking so much gold. Still has so much navy. Not seeing any champions yet. I think it's important with champions, though. You got to get all the techs before you start to make them. Too many people start to make them when they're like man-at-arms, and then they're kind of useless. You just got to plan in advance for it. Stark's got to be careful here. That's a lot of demos. That's a lot of demos. Dennis is coming in with more. So we'll have some big booms here. Oof. Okay. All right, Dennis. And Dennis should absolutely fight on here. There's no reason to not. when it's game number 1 of such an important series. This is funny. Stark shows up with 7 trebs to take, like, nothing. Okay, but he'll take the university and a couple houses. Remember, Stark still hasn't lost any docks, and Dennis has been losing a lot of docks, and when he loses a demo, he's losing wood that way as well, so that demo actually gets canceled, too. Stark just saving so many resources. Dennis refused to call it. Oh, wait! Where did he come from? 1 John Swordsman versus 7 Trebs. Get it! Get it! That's funny. Stark actually tried to treb it. Can you imagine if he would have hit that? That would have been so funny. Trebs are pulling back, and John is going to die. And he at least took 1 treb. Okay. That's fine. That's good. That's good work. Barracks now from Stark. Oh, dude, look at the champs. He's ready, man. Yeah, this will end the game. Stark has been patient enough, but now he has all of his techs in, and he would just build mass barracks here to spam in champions. And Dennis has essentially been building up everything to simply just recover on water. Maybe it won't end the game if Dennis can still afford a castle there. He had to buy it. But I can't see how this makes life any easier. This is still crazy, though. The fact that Stark doesn't see this, if he brings Navy over here, that kills like 25 vills. That's sneaky from Dennis, though. He's got a lot of extra wood income out there just because Stark hasn't spotted him. Stark could also snag that relic, maybe, and take that back home. And then he brings the Trebs in again. Gifted subs in chat. Thank you, thank you. Castle goes down as fast as it was built. So much for a protected castle. Stark just too clean, too strong. These champions are ignoring any armor. Not that most of these units actually have armor, but they still are. It's game 1. Dennis playing on a little bit longer. He's actually taking some good fights on the left side, so maybe he feels like there's some positives here. But his traction trebs are getting sniped. His TCs are getting sniped. And he is not going to have much economy to work with here. And traction trebs do all get sniped. And Stark's going to make some 3 Sedai now. 3 Sedai pretty good against galleons. So he'll mix them in with his own galleons. I mean, Stark might actually fall behind on water, but that's only because he has so much population on land now. And the population on land is wrecking, so even just taking the houses is crazy at this stage. Dennis is like, maybe there's a chance I get so much Navy, I could somehow kill everything, but he doesn't have enough. He got slaughtered, and he loses the first game. You know, in terms of approach, I didn't think it was necessarily bad from Dennis. I think you have 2 different things you can try with the Woo. You could try the Man-at-Arm opening, which I like, or you can try and play in towards John Swordsman. He opted for the John Swordsman. I kind of would have liked a mix of both. I thought Stark's opening was crazy strong. Man-at-Arms were able to disrupt every area. The Archer follow-up was also really good. And Stark just had such clean economy in the mid-game, man. Very fast to the TCs, very fast to the relics, great upgrades. He's just so good. And this castle was a really big story as well. That's just a crazy one. You can credit Stark, and Stark will say, oh, it was calculated, right? But realistically, if Stark just had 740 stone instead of 640, I think he already pre-places the castle. And I think he doesn't place it here. He places it here. So that's just unlucky for Dennis with the timing there. Because if Stark's building a castle here, he can't panic up a castle here to counter this one. And this never happens. And then Dennis castles his TC. All these vills are exposed. All these vills die. And then maybe Dennis wins water later because he has the better economy. So, high risk, high reward, I guess, right? With the forward castle, and still credit to Stark for getting the job done there. Stark with 186 kills, 152 units lost. I think one of the units he lost was to a Rhino. 78,000 resources collected. Way more food, way more gold, and way more stone. Yeah, he was super far ahead there. We've had some new people showing up. But you know, the one new guy, I got one guide earlier, didn't want water map. So we're gonna give him a little puddle here for this game. This map is mostly land. Game number 2. Dennis does not want that Stark's defensive capabilities to be an option for him here. So we got Persians for Dennis, Lithuanians for Stark. Honestly, both these civs are really good at the early dock here. The Persians start with extra wood and food, so they can get to that dock really easy. Lithuanians, just the extra food. They essentially can do the same thing, and they can just go to wood a little bit earlier. Long term, map is pretty open. There's deer everywhere. Chat, if you want to guess how many deer are on the map, we can double check that real quick. See if anybody can get it. I'm going to guess 88 deer are on the map. I guess some of them are dying now, so we should probably make this quick. But yeah, groups of deer everywhere. You got the group of berries. Wood is pretty awkward to maneuver around, and of course you do have the relics. But I expect them both to take water, at least initially. All right, let's see. Can I double-click a deer here? 89! What did I say? That's actually including the ones that are underneath the TC as well. I think I said 88. Are you freaking kidding me? Hold on. Let me try that again. 89. Oh my god. Don't play the lottery, kids. Whatever. I don't know if that's fixed or not. I obviously have double-clicked the deer on this map a lot. The most I've seen is 105, 110 maybe. Usually it's around like mid to high 80s. So deer are probably just going to be pushed in. I wouldn't expect a lot of craziness in the opening, so we'll just chill. Thank you, Justin, for the 10 months. Thank you, Jubin, for the 29. But this is round 3 now. So the losing player this series, we will see in the 10K Silver League in the new year. You win this round, you go into a final, essentially, to potentially make it into gold. Which for Stark would be returning to gold. He was there before. Dennis has never been in silver or gold. So, can someone check and see if he played last Titans League at all? Last Titans League, it would have been silver bracket to get into gold, right? And now we've had the bronze bracket to get into silver because we're expanding silver. But I don't seem to recall Dennis in that, like, making a deep run in that bracket. Daniela remembers him playing. Maybe if someone would be so kind, if you could let me know what happened in that bracket then. Like, who did he play against? What's up, Cryptic? He says, thanks for getting me back into AoE 2. Happy to do it, man. Thanks for nerding out with us. Dennis lost to SizCon in the final round. Ah, okay. I mean, so he made it pretty far then. And then SizCon made it into gold. And then SizCon ended up getting promoted to plat for this upcoming season. So SizCon is a really solid player to lose to. And he beat Fire in the round before. Okay, I do remember that now. I remember Fire was not too pleased at the conclusion of that series, if I recall. Fire is, of course, playing in bronze here. Fire is, at the very least, going to be silver. Fire, would be great for him to get back to gold. Feels like Fire has been around for so long. He has been really sharp the last couple months. So I think he's been putting in some work, been putting in some training. All right, so both players have 2 Vills in the middle. And Stark is going to bring his 2 Vills and his Scout and just attack here. I don't think Dennis was expecting this. So the only thing Dennis can really do right now is Dennis can bring his Scout over and try and do the same. That's a good move, though. Just fish in the middle because the villagers can't get there. You're torn here. You don't want to leave your Vills here for too long, but you don't want to have 0 villagers so you can't repair it all. And then will we see a Fire Galley if they're going to make Scouts as well? Dennis didn't even take his second boar here. That is a juicy lumber camp, though, I have to say. Might have some inefficiency problems, but that looks really clean. Compared to Stark, Stark's woodline doesn't have as much to go off of. Stark is on gold. So that tells me that Stark will make at least 2 Fire Galleys. And then Dennis is also on gold. So it could be the same. But Dennis already has the barracks, of course. I don't think this is enough to build 2 docks, though. Man, Stark's crazy for engaging here. Stark really wants to get an advantage here, but you can't stay here for too long, Stark, because it'll take some time for you to get home. Stark thinks he can get the kills. I would have never expected this. Again, Stark is seen as kind of slower. Would have never expected him, of all people, to try and take the fight to Dennis, and he pays the price. He loses his scout. I think Dennis now will have a fire galley, so Stark has to run back. Dennis might want to leave with that weak villager, though. Fire galley and a demo in queue for Stark, and there's the first fire galley for Dennis. Persians have the stronger docks of the 2 civs. Persian TC work rate's a little bit stronger as well, so Persians are definitely a solid civ here. I love the Spearman choice. Spearman into the middle is great, because Spearmen do some bonus damage against ships. They also do get roasted pretty quickly, but I don't hate that. Really messy engagements right now. Random hammers hitting the fires. I don't know where she's going, though. Okay, now she's repairing. As she's slowly getting roasted. Demo! 2 villagers down for Dennis. Stark did a better job staying off the middle there, guys. He's been staying on the side in case a demo comes out and Stark gets the big hit. That's so good. But hold on. See, Stark sees it. And Stark says, not today, fool. Oh, no way. Oh, Spearman, let's go. Honestly, it's not that big a deal. Okay, you lose 2 vills, but you've had the additional fishing ship for a second or two. Your Persians can recover that. We do have archers as a follow-up from Dennis. And we have scouts as the plan for Stark, but having the food for all that's going to be tough. There's a lot you have to do right now. Has to build the mill there. Has to finish some sheep. Still no farms, obviously. I think Dennis would be better off using his scout, finding Stark's base, and knowing where Stark is right now. I don't like how his scout is still here when he doesn't have that information. Stark's going to have an eventual follow-up, so... With the scout on 4 HP, I don't think there's a lot of benefit to having it here, but maybe I'm wrong. He tries to use it as a distraction there. And scout is actually a very nice distraction so far. And he'll take down the fire galley. But he loses his scout. Stark is losing the water. There's a total of 400 food left in the middle right now, which is not a lot. So, I really think it's about what else are you going to make. And Stark at least knows his opponent is going archers now. So, I don't know. I think I prefer Stark's position. You know your opponent's going archers as the follow-up because he showed his hand. I mean, I don't want to say prefer his position. It's not... Actually, there's aspects I don't like. I don't like the fact he's not walled yet. I don't necessarily like this wood line. And obviously, I don't love the fact that Stark just lost his fish. Or lost his fish and also his fires here. But again, like, really close. Like, these guys back and forth at the start of each game. And just minor differences between them. I could easily see this going to 5 games today. But Dennis needs this one, right? You can't lose this one. If it's this close, you have to follow it up on your home map. If Dennis had that scout, he could check, and he could see that his opponent has, well, everything. He could see the archer range for skirms, and he could have seen that it was the scout edition from Stark. Instead, he doesn't have that information because his scout was tossed away to the fire. And now he gets found by the fast Lithuanian skirms, but that's a good reaction time. The only thing is, he might get surprised by Stark's scouts. He is walling pretty nicely here, though, so the scouts might not end up getting in. Demo from Stark lands on both the fires there. There is also a demo in that dock from Dennis, and Stark sees it. And Stark backs away, and the skirms... Honestly, would you even want to use it on the skirms? Nah. The skirms are here. Skirms are annoying, but... Stark knows there's not another demo on the way for at least a second. He goes for the Repairville. He'll get the Repairville. He'll also get the Fire Galley. He also gets the Archers. Dude, that's so good from Stark. He didn't take the fire galley yet. But again, like, the fish is so unimportant. There's 75 food left in the middle. Just got to give up on this. If Dennis has a hole anywhere in his walls, this gets really awkward. But it doesn't look like he does. He's got his berries on the back. He doesn't have many farms. It feels like his resources are close to getting to Castle Age, but it's yet so far when you only have 7 on food. Stark isn't fully walled, but that's because he has the map control and the freedom to move out, take some of the hunt. He's added in some farms. He's got the berries, so he's got 16 on food versus just the 10 from Dennis. If Dennis were to sneak archers to Stark's base right now, Stark might never see it. But when you're in the dark like this and you don't have scouting or vision, you just assume that you get spotted. There's a lot of players who would love to sneak these right now. But he shows his hand. He snipes the scout. He backs away. Really close game. Still fighting on water over the now 12 food that's left. And obviously, it could be fish traps later, so it's not just this fish. But, I mean, even then, the fish traps are going to be exposed. Stark recovers. It's kind of a weird statement, but I think Dennis, it's better for him if he just lets this die. But I think he'll probably contest it. Because having the pond gives you the potential for random demos, gives you some vision. Yeah. Like someone like Vivi with these archers as Persians, he would say, I'm never playing crossbow. He would sneak those archers. He would try and get Vil picks, and then he would just play knights. Which I think would be really good here. Playing too many archers against Lithuanians can be dangerous. And now we see more skirms on the way for Stark. Someone's asking how many relics there are. I think I'm seeing 5. 5 on the mini-map. And they're always scattered in a circle amongst these trees. They're never really in the corners. Obviously, if the Lithuanians get those relics, their knights become very strong here. We will see double range from Stark. So it's mainly going to be skirms from him. And that should be decent because it seems like Dennis is going to play crossbow. Still no stable for Dennis. It might just be more of a boom approach from Dennis, but here goes his army now. What's up, Hansworth? Thank you. Sneaky army. Will Stark see this? Skirmisher here, waiting in the darkness. Scout here is just scouting the map. Skirmisher here, waiting in the darkness. No outpost whatsoever, but if he were to track this, if he were to see this, it's obviously a game changer, right? And his scout finds it and moves away from it as well. That's so good from Stark. My goodness. I wonder, was he controlling that? Or was it auto scout that just ended up following it? It's a huge find. Now he knows. I think Dennis is going to be uneasy about this. You're really torn, right? You're like, okay, he knows. He had skirms before, and he knows about me. And once that scout comes back, you're just thinking you got to run back home. Because you don't want to run immediately to your death. He's going to wait for a knight from that stable. Which is a good play. Still only 8 crossbowmen. And there's the second TC from Dennis. Stark just positions his units so nicely. So he shouldn't be surprised on the left side. Probably still looking around, waiting for that army to show up. He didn't actually have many upgrades. He doesn't really see anything now. Okay, now he does. Weak skirm goes down. I really struggle to play knights on multiple town centers with Persians. Yeah, now he sees the elite skirm and backs off. But the reason I say that is just because their vills produce so fast. You're working 15% faster in Castle Age now, and you're trying to make food units. It's crazy difficult, especially when you get to 3 TCs. On 2 TCs, I think it's reasonable. I think that's the way to do it, to get the ratios right. But the second I'm on 3 TCs with Persians, I almost never want to be playing knights, because I never have the food for it. Stark will get his first relic. Stark with 1, 2, and now a third town center down here. That one's pretty tucked away down there. Stark will be aware of this army. Has the monks around. I don't really see Dennis doing too much with this army. But 2 monks, those could so easily be conversions. Micro will matter, though. Stark needs to... Okay, well, actually, the archer's been killed. I was going to say he needs that archer to be out of the group because Lithuanian skirms move faster than that archer, and the army was moving at the speed of the max speed of the archer. And now it's like super speed. Great upgrades from both. They're both just so solid. There's a demo here from Dennis. I'd like to see him run towards the middle and maybe bait Stark a little bit. Stark now adding cav archers. Stripe in my chat asking who's winning. Dude, I have no clue. It's so super close. Like, on one hand, this is exactly what the Persians want, where they can just freely boom uncontested, but then the Lithuanians also kind of want that. They're on 3 TCs. Stark is getting some relics. You worry about Stark's scalability with army if he goes cav archers, but I don't hate cav archers because you need something more against knights too. Dennis kills another skirm. Dennis is just now getting the first armor upgrade for his knights and doesn't even have bloodlines. I think Dennis will struggle to win some fights here. Stark with that scout, scouting the whole map. Auto scout OP, guys. Look at that scouting. Meanwhile, you look at Dennis's scouting, and there's a lot of darkness. Nice micro from Dennis there. That was really good. I don't think Dennis has seen cav archers yet. Stark, when he really gets into a flow, loves to be on 4 or 5 TCs sometimes. I'm wondering if we'll see Vills on stone soon, so we can get more town centers. Okay, there's some stone mining. So, like, I could see a town center here. It's wood and stone. Town center in this corner, it's wood. Town center over here, like... I could see a really big boom coming. Bloodlines and full armor now from Dennis. See, this is why the Cav Archer edition is so nice. Because before, it's just a couple skirms and a couple monks could probably hold. But now, the opponent's switching to light Cav to snipe monks. Light Cav's pretty reasonable against the skirms as well. Great awareness from Stark to know that he needs another unit. And he already invested into ranged units. He already had the ranges. Doesn't have ballistics yet, but he'll get there. Dennis is pretty heavy on stone. Both players have 9 on stone right now at pretty much the same time. T90, wouldn't that spread be very hard to defend? Well, no, because you have TCs. Like, the TCs inherently help you defend. So, I see what you mean, because you're in a lot of different areas. But imagine you don't have the TCs and then try and defend all these open gaps. The TCs will really help. Like, this one's kind of a must-have because it's the front of your base and it's near a wood and a stone, and you're kind of running out of wood more than anything right now. Crazy quick wall there from Stark. He noticed that army was coming in. He's so solid. He's trying to full wall his base right now to prevent any big raids. And there, Dennis just saw the Cav Archers. Res collected 400 ahead for Dennis. But that is negligible. That's not a big deal at all. And the Cav Archers for Stark don't have bloodlines. And then the monks are going to die to light Cav, but will they get conversions? He only got 1 conversion, I think. That's a really nice fight for Dennis. Stark's on the way to Imp. Dennis, meanwhile, spending all of his food, spending all of his gold on these knights. He'll walk through this partially built wall to build a siege workshop. There's a TC from Stark. There's a TC from Stark. Yeah, he wants Imp for Bracer. Makes a lot of sense when you're playing ranged units. This could work. But he needs to have bloodlines on the Cav Archers. He needs more Cav Archers. And maybe even a defensive castle. But we'll see if he can get there. We'll see if he even knows he needs it. He doesn't know the siege workshop's there. Hill forts would actually hit so hard here. Stark would do it. Other players would forget about it. Stark would do it. Hill Forts gives your TCs 3 more range, which means it will outrange a siege push. It's great against knights as well, once you have ballistics and all the ranged upgrades. Another monk goes down. Another conversion happens. Panic Castle from Stark. I think he can complete this. The siege isn't here yet. This is not going to be the best of times for Stark. He's losing all of his army now. I think the castle will go up, but oh, he has no army. Still with this many town centers, you've got to think maybe he can stabilize. Castle's up. Another monk goes down. I wouldn't even make siege now if I'm Dennis. I'm Dennis, I think about clicking up to the Imperial Age now. I don't know, man. Dennis is really cooked behind this. His eco is looking fantastic. He, of course, has not been raided at all. And Stark doesn't have a big army. Late with ballistics. Late with bloodlines. So I think the plan of Cav Archer's out the window now. You might as well just make Latus. Dennis still about 3 minutes away from Imp. So this gives Stark a lot of time. And I think outposts are going to be key now. I think Dennis needs to outpost the sides. There's a lot of open space over here. You have to know if the opponent's coming out. I think Stark needs to do the same. Locking down this area. This is a great castle from Dennis to lock down this side. He's definitely expecting Latus, so he's dropping barracks for Halbs. Love this castle as well. I think every single game in this set might go to Imp, guys, because they're both just so solid. And neither player's aggressive enough to break the other player. So if you're not fully certain that you could break somebody with your aggression, you got to opt for like that calculated approach. What's their speed difference, if there is a difference? They seem like... Okay, well, Dennis is apparently way faster. That's just classic Stark for you. People have been making jokes about how slow Stark is for 10 plus years. And he's still around, still being a beast, so... Latus could be a real problem. I think if I were Dennis, I would have gone camel here. You have the stables. Like, maybe just make a couple camels right now. Nice quick walls. It's tough, though. The Latus can still run around. Oh, that's well played from Dennis. Like, 3 camels, and then you could kill this, right? It's not like Stark has many upgrades. What is Stark even going for? He hasn't been making army at all. He made 6 Latus this whole time. And then he made a Treb. So he's just booming. He drops a castle in the south. Now he goes for Castle Age armor. Just feels a little late. And Dennis will go for Helb. And drop a TC here. Let's talk gold positions. Real quick. There's this gold here for Dennis. There's a gold down here for Stark. So they're both going to have that. Is there any golds they haven't claimed yet? Maybe this stone is an area. Honestly, there's not. It feels like they're both going to have control of this similar amounts of stone and gold. And they're just going to max out. Dennis has 3 relics at least. He also gets that conversion. And Dennis is building another castle, hoping to push this side. Man, Stark's so late to upgrades. He's just now getting chemistry. I don't know, man. Like, normally you're expecting him to be on hand cannons now. Because he's been an imp for such a long time. It's like the Halbs and the Trebs come, and then Stark can have hand cannons and bombard cannons. But now he is still has that upgrade coming in. Treb push could actually do something. I don't like one Treb, though. I'd like to see multiple from Dennis. And Dennis will definitely build a castle here at some stage, because this is going to get annoying. You don't notice this, and you'll lose the Latus, but he reacts right away. Again, I don't like trickle trebbing here. No one has ever accomplished anything with 2 trebs in post-imp. Like, I think you're better off just kind of waiting a little bit. But he is repairing. Both players are repairing now. Latus will need to be tracked. It's not the biggest raid, but there will be more Latus running that way. Hand cannons can be produced now by Stark if he wants to. He's actually going CA again. Which, again, can be good. We have Cavalier for Dennis. Still no bombard cannon for either player. Halbs can at least kill the CA if they get in close. So Stark's distracted there. He at least loses some units. That wouldn't happen with hand cannons. But hand cannons don't have the mobility, right? Again, I think Dennis maybe just needs to drop a castle over here. If you don't want to focus on those raids. And all of his halbs got baited out of position, and he loses his 2 trebs. That's really good for Stark. And Dennis needed a little bit more patience. Wait for 4 trebuchets. Make your play on this side. 2. Just a little ambitious. But it's crazy game right now. So much economy. Look at all the farms he just placed. I think we're just going to see St4rk. I think the one thing that Stark wasn't expecting was Cav play from Dennis. But now that he's seen Cavalier, I think he should know. Normally you try and hide the Cavalier switch so he can't see it. Latus got into the back here and are finding some kills. See, if I'm Dennis, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, there's maybe some good players in chat who want to give input, but I would always drop a castle here. It protects the stone, and then you don't get raided like this. This never happens, right? Feels like he's saving stone for something. Still no St4rk upgrade either. He's getting hoardings now? Interesting. I guess both players have maybe been a little slow to spending their res sometimes because they're just balancing their eco. But Stark's on heavy Cav Archer now. Stark could go heavy Cav Archer and delete Latus because he has multiple castles. And he's just now getting more stone. That's a tough comp to kill, man. He's going to go Hussar instead because that's safer with your gold spend. And all right, there's St4rk. So St4rk's in. And it will be St4rk, Halb. You know what would be really good here is Ram. Siege Ram. It's tough to have the food for it, but Siege Ram would be so strong against Cav Archer. Look at these techs from Stark. Filling up the screen with techs. 3 levels of technologies. It's just still wondering, like, what's the stone situation for you, Dennis? He seems rather unbothered by this raid. 1,400 stone in the bank. Feels like he wants a big fight and then a castle right as the fight takes place. There's a lot of vills around here. I think that's what it is. Imagine if you had the trebs as well, right? Oh, he does have the trebs. I didn't see them. Yeah, that's what this is. I think. 3 trebs this time instead of 1 or 2. He micros. He'll have St4rk. Stark sees it. St4rk's not in yet, which really hurts. There's also a bombard cannon there. You have to factor in you're going to lose a treb or 2. That's why we typically see 4 or 5. He still just has 2. St4rk is in. The halbs are there. It's only 2 trebs for Dennis. He's just forcing the issue now. He's bringing the vills. He'll take the treb from Stark. He's got more army coming in. Can he complete this castle here before his army's dead? If it all happened at the same time, I think he could have. But it's all mistimed. Look, like his army's dead now. If that castle's building at the exact same time, it's actually a really big play. I don't know, Dennis. The trebs can get sniped. The castle could get easily denied. The trebs didn't get sniped, though. There's St4rk here. Castle might go up. Trebs are still standing. Castle's not going to go up. More vills need to come. Another game with a 90+% castle denial for Stark. But there's got to be vills coming. Oh, man, it feels like they're miles away. Trebs are still standing, though. So with the trebs still standing, that's a game changer. Also, the St4rk can chase in. They can take the trebs. Castle Foundation's being trebbed. That's 1 treb down. Monk down. Another treb down. There's also a bombard cannon there that could be sniped. Villagers are on the way now. I think it's going to work. Dennis almost through. Obviously, if that's perfectly timed, that would have been better. But the whole play still works. And St4rk just seems so strong. And I guess Stark just never had enough helps. He's going to raid the right side now. Dennis will finally drop a defensive castle there because Stark's sending a lot of pressure that way. But Stark will lose this castle. Stark has a lot of exposed eco now. And Dennis could maybe start to worry more about the middle then, raiding this area. A castle's huge. Castle already has 8 kills. That's such a good position. In these really long games, you want to take the corners. And so Dennis kind of has control of 3 of those corners right now. I do think gold is going to be a concern. And so St4rk is not something that's realistic long term. Might just need to make hussars now. And Dennis really should be sniping that trap. I don't think he sees it. But that, with the army he just had, he could have taken that trap. And if he took that trap, he doesn't have to invest into repairs here. I think he sees it with the bombard cannon, but now Stark has the CA here. And so now he needs to back up. The Stark's raids will not do a lot here. Also, a lot of villagers exposed through the middle. A lot of villagers exposed on the right side and through the middle on this side as well. Yeah, I like Hussar, Halb, and Siege Ram now for the Persians. Lithuanians can't get Siege Ram, so they're at a disadvantage there. Stark, the way he wins this game is if he gets to 30, 40 Cav Archers. He's only at 16. Really tough for him to get the numbers when he's been punched in the face like this. And when his ranges are going down too. The weakness of Cav Archers, obviously, is they need to be in the same spot all the time. So he's had to stay here. Would be nice, too, for Stark to get tower shields. His spears and his skirms would have extra pierce armor. It's not the most important tech right now, but it obviously would help. But Stark is struggling to breathe with his eco right now. He needs to push this castle back. It's going to be tough. Still, I think both players have a raidable economy. I think Dennis needs a castle in the middle. Stark's economy is actually way more defended. 1, 2, 3, 4 castles. And he has Bracer. So with Bracer, castles are a lot stronger. Persians don't get that. Stark is holding now. Still banking up a lot of gold. Oh, still replacing villagers every time he loses one. Yeah, Dennis should just take the trap. Yeah, that's huge. This means this castle stands for such a long time now. That's a huge find. And it's just hussars. Never make another St4rk now. Because you don't want to be losing them. Dennis will treb the monastery, which at the very least will make it frustrating for Stark. Stark will probably get those relics back, but you never know. That's 2 relics that won't be bringing in gold. So monastery's down. Dennis can't easily raid Stark because of Stark's castles. So he has to be patient. I seem to remember a jungle swamp game that Dennis played against Lewis. I think it was in midweek Masters or something. And he had such a big positional lead. And he tried to force the issue. And he threw a bunch of army and then he lost the game. Like he tried to go for another forward castle when he didn't need to. And I think what I would do in this scenario is you're like, all right, I have the position. Stark's impossible to kill. We just build a castle in the middle of our eco so he can never go for a devastating raid later. Like, Stark is turtling hard right now. I actually am beginning to think Stark will win this game. Let's see, though. Big dive here. Like, it becomes really awkward with the Persians because you don't have Bracer. Your range units are just not very strong. Stark will probably get those relics back. But Dennis still holding this position, and he takes down the trap. That's a sick hold. Yeah, Dennis's eco is a little spread out, but just a castle towards the middle here, towards this wood, and you're fine. But maybe you don't even chop wood there. I don't know. You chop wood over here. I just think the second that Stark finds this gap, Stark is going to have a field day. And that's his way back into this game. But Dennis is doing a good job to ignore it. And just yeet Hussars to their deaths every time. It's a lot of death. That's really not it. That is not a good fight. It just instantly disappeared. And now Hussars are in. Unique Tech isn't in for the castles yet for Dennis. He just has Commander on, so he could consider trash bows. Maybe he thought he got Citadels, but Citadels would be good. Dennis, I swear, he's going to place a forward castle here, isn't he? I think he thinks if he could break Stark in this position, he can just win. But I'm getting real concerned. Stark notices now that this is all open without castles. This is how Stark can win the game. And is still building up, still hoping to push with those trebs. More Hussars arrive. Stark's got a lot of farms. Stark's got building more TCs. Stark is still pretty safe back here. He's got winged Hussar instead of Hussar. He's got Cav Archers. He's got the speedier Halbs. And Dennis is like, okay, now his turn to find a raid through the middle now. That's what this game is turning into, is a wood game. And Stark has to take wood here. He can't take wood underneath all these castles on the left like Dennis can. But Dennis isn't taking it, which could be an issue. Stark is just waiting to push this castle back. I think he can do it. Also, Stark's down to 110 vills, but that's fine. If you have enough military in queue, that gives you a massive military lead. And he'll snipe these trebs. Gets one. He'll get two. This is his time. Raids here because there's no defensive castle. Raids here because there's no defensive castle. Dennis has played a great game, but the difference between him and Stark is the defense, man. There's got to be castles through the middle here. You have castles everywhere else. He's had so much stone to buy castles there. He's going to lose this castle now. And of course, when you start to lose this castle, you then panic and you do everything you can to save this castle. And then you do everything you can to save this castle, and then Stark hits you in this area again. I've seen this so many times. Stark is just so tough to kill. And it's starting to slip away for Dennis right now. He's going to spend some of his gold on St4rk. He's thinking he needs a better unit, which is absolutely true. And Stark with the patience, man. Just 7 trebs just rolling in. Ready to take these castles. Stark's got his TC ready to go. Has hill forts, so the TCs have extra range. I think Dennis is trying to think about what units he can make, and he might be thinking about ranged units, but I think ranged units are just not good enough with Persians. Dennis has hit a wall now. And I mean, on the topic of that defensive castle, if you do it, you still might have a worse late game. So maybe what I'm saying is the wrong play. But it just felt like Stark had such a wide opening for raids here, and he's never been raidable himself with this setup. Look, he used to have like 2 farms down here. Now he's got 100. So good. Cav Archers here have 91 kills. The Stark he's lost more villagers than he's killed, but he's done a crazy nice job to stabilize this. There was obviously a lot of military buildings here too. They'll all get trebbed down. Stark 78 on food. Dennis 81 on food. Maybe it'd be good for Dennis to lose some villagers, because if your army is worse, you need to have more army. The worrying thing there is he doesn't actually have a big queue, so losing 30 vills doesn't feel healthy for him right now. This would be a heartbreaker, man. Dennis has played so well. I thought when he had made so much progress here that he was going to continue to be able to, but he just couldn't. He didn't have enough. This would be such a huge win for Stark. It says Stark has 1 on gold. It's probably not much, probably 1 villager on 200 gold. And there's no stone left on the map either. So it's going to be a full trash game, full wood, full food. Stark actually just sold off a lot of food for a ton of gold, though. My goodness. Look at that. He's got 1,600 more gold in the bank. Immediately queues up some more hussars. Castle setup. There's 2. No, sorry, 3. 1, 2, 3 for Dennis. Pretty spread out. Stark's got 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're all condensed. And he's moving his trebs over this way. And he wants that castle. He's just castle sniping now. Late stage of AoE, you want those castle positions. Stark does have a TC over here, but there's not a whole lot of importance. And he's just rolling on over with those trebs. And, I mean, Dennis can see it, but Dennis has to get over here somehow. And if Dennis runs through the middle, he's going to get demoed. Dennis actually can't move through the middle easily. Because there's demos there. That's why you got War Galley. Ah, that's annoying. Well, the trebs are stuck. But, yep, castle's down. Dude, Stark's patience is crazy. Like, just methodically pushing everything back is so difficult. We see people lose their trebs for free all the time. And then Stark is just like, oh, taking my time. I'll pack these up. I'll wait for the proper moment. I'll go for the next castle. Cav Archer ended up being a great choice for Stark. It's a way better unit to keep alive and keep masked in this type of scenario versus the hand cannons. Similar amounts of gold. The Cav Archers just have a lot more value. Keep in mind, we haven't seen a single skirm from Stark. He has never needed it. I don't even think you need skirms against crossbowmen. I think crossbowmen with that cost wood are great at mid ranks and low ranks, but not at this elo, man. It is still a crossbow without bracer. The fact that it costs wood is not important here. If anything, it hurts that it costs wood. You almost want it to cost food because you're going to run out of wood. Yeah, I guess we haven't seen a single skirm in Imp from Stark is what I should have said. Dennis can't believe it. He got hoardings a long time ago. So this castle should be pretty strong, but not against 7 trebs. GG. Damn, dude. That was so well played from Stark. You know, you could just see with Dennis, he wanted to finish that game fast. That move he made on the left side, which ultimately kind of ended up working with the trebs and the castle being built and the army at the same time. He wanted a big snowball push to finish Stark. Stark lost ground, but he was never fully broken. And as he was slowly dying over here, and I think that's the important thing, he was slowly losing this position. He was building up back here. And this is what won him the game. So much eco down here. Such a good farm setup. Also, keeping the Cav Archers alive was fantastic. He only had 78 Cav Archers in total that game. He has 20 left. These 20 Cav Archers have 115 kills. So it was just such a good unit to have. For Persians, once you run out of gold and you can't make Savar anymore, you don't have the units to necessarily last. And as I said, I think trash bows, that one thing, those wood crossbows is a maybe. But I'm still not convinced that that unit is very good against a Hussar. Still not convinced. That unit's certainly not good if the Lithuanian player switches to Skirm. But Dennis just, he's finding it's really tough to break Stark. And I think what I would have liked to see from him is slightly better timing here. I actually think he can win the game right here. There's still golds. There's still lots of positives. But it was just slightly miscued. Like, this fight happens, right? The villagers need to be building the castle right now. Right now. And that's doable. That's very doable. And then he wins the fight. He was winning the fight big time. Eventually, the units die. And then the villagers start building the castle. And then the castle gets denied. Then he loses a lot of vills. And you just... If that goes differently, if that castle's being built as the fight is taken, he saves his vills, his castle completes, Stark loses this castle faster, and then the Savar snowball a whole lot faster. It just, because it took so long to happen, Stark was able to do all of this And as you can see, like over time, Stark's like new castle, new farms. He just kind of held on. Great game from Stark, though. I mean, Dennis is close, but he's going to have to win 3 straight now. Stark just looking... He's looking like he's one of the most experienced players in the whole freaking bracket, man, which he is. Didn't collect as much food, didn't even collect as much gold, but still had the better KD. And would have probably had more resources long term, right? With the amount of eco he had. So Stark back in the blue, Dennis back in the red. And okay, we've got some new civilizations here. We've got the Jurchens for Dennis. I guess the civs aren't that new, but they all did come from same DLC. And then we got the Khitans for Stark. Fun matchup. Fun matchup where we could see a whole lot of cav here. Jurchen mounted units attack faster. Their hunt also doesn't decay, which is nice to save on some food. And then the Khitans have the double forging, the double iron casting. They have the insanely high attack, as well as the faster massing spears and skirms, which could be a factor. But if I were to predict the matchup, I'd expect a lot of scouts. And then after that, maybe a couple lancers. And after that, maybe a couple camels. And then back to scouts. And then just not stop. Though Jurchens might go cav archers. Khitans can also go cav archers. Map is ravines. You start with a little dried out houseboat situation. Have some outposts for vision later on. It's not a really easy map to wall. While you can envision it, you need to have army. And players will probably spend most of their Dark Age just pushing in their deer. But thank you, Nuka. Thank you, Page4. Thank you, Squidzilla. Thank you, Hippie Assassin. Thank you, Selby Sauce. Thank you, Make Tootens Great Again. Thank you so much, everybody. This is kind of the warm-up for me. The new year, late January specifically, is when Titans League kicks off, and there will be non-stop content, but really do appreciate the support so far. Technically, we didn't need to expand the format to include more players and have the Silver League and have the Bronze bracket. I mean, we're pretty happy with how things were going before, but it's important for me to see more and more players get opportunities. So I appreciate you guys being here for it, watching. I say that. I really do appreciate the support. This might be a bad look, but I'm going to step away for a moment. Be right back. I'll catch you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Everybody freaks out when the caster's not here, man. Or everyone misbehaves. They're like, Dad isn't here. Let's see what we can get away with. Like, I'm not going to see the messages when I come back. So, something you could try here if you're Stark. You could try Spear Skirm. Like, heavy trash play. I think it's kind of risky if your opponent gets back berries and if they wall like this, which is exactly what Dennis is doing, but I think it's viable. Also, I think Dennis might try a fast castle here. He has all the sheep. He's got all the hunt. There's no decay on it, so you get the most from it. But Dennis, if you're going to do this, you need to be walled, dude. And there is a hole there. And Stark also see... does he see it? I don't know if he knows about that. But like, this might be like a fast castle fire lancer type thing from Dennis. 3 on golds, 22 vills, walls. Stark is definitely going scouts. I think we'll see a stable there, and then he'll shift almost everything onto food. But at a certain point, Stark is going to be like, wait a second. Like, why is he not in Feudal Age yet? What is he going to try here? Dennis completes the wall there. Dennis is going to complete the wall here. And Stark will also see the mining camp. So yeah, you could try a couple different things. I think if you're up against scouts, though, like if you're up against Khitans, you might just want to try the Fire Lancers because they're good against Cav. Curious to see how Stark manages this. Like, some people are going to go like crazy YOLO, and they're going to go scouts, and they're going to go archers, and they're going to go towers. Someone like Stark might just be like, oh, okay, you got me. I have 3 minutes now to wall my base, and Stonewall is an option now. So I was seeing a couple palisade walls over here, a couple palisade walls over here. I saw the pasture upgrade. I don't think he's going to do too much. I think he's just going to adapt to whatever comes his way. So I guess Stark doesn't know there's a hole there or hasn't thought about it. I mean, he almost ran through it. And then Dennis thinks that that's walled. Stark is just protecting his wall with this scout, and this scout is going to see the market. He's going to see the blacksmith. And Dennis is going to be up. And honestly, Dennis could just boom. Like, he's received no pressure. He doesn't actually have to be aggressive if he doesn't want to, but it would make sense to do something. So with the barracks going up, yeah, I think it'd be Fire Lancers. It's way more accessible than Grenadiers, because Grenadiers you have to build the range. And one or two of them could force Stark into some panic. You don't necessarily need big numbers. Though, of course, big numbers are an option too. And then you could maybe come forward with the Siege Workshop. So, wow, double barracks. Okay, so Dennis is going to go crazy. He's definitely not going to boom. And Stark will see that as well. I think the best thing you can do against this build, if you're Stark, obviously get to Castle Age. And I would try and play Cav Archers. But this is a kind of an awkward Cav Archer civ because they don't get bloodlines. Pastures are up. Saying that there's only 2 of them. Am I crazy, or should Stark have gone for stone walls? At least in some sections. Actually, I am crazy, but also Stark should have gone for stone walls. Stone wall here, and here at least. And then you can palisade this, I don't care. You don't want to be pressured massively on the front. But I guess if you stonewall, then you can't add TCs later. And he seems pretty comfortable in this position right now. What's up, Dovs? Also, is the quality fine for everybody? I think everything's good. Somebody asked if I dropped frames. I dropped 0 frames. So that was your neighbor stealing your internet again. There's actually a viewer here who uses the restaurant next door's Wi-Fi. They admitted it. They seem to have no problem with it. Apparently, eat there quite a bit, so they feel like that's included in the package. And here comes the Fire Lancers. Telling you, man, stone walls. Stone walls, but also not using your stable as part of the wall could have been things to consider here. Because now, even if you had stone walls, that stable is going to be ramped down. Dennis, you cannot lose these vills, my friend. Well, he loses 1. Not the end of the world. Keep in mind, he will start to run out of the sheep now. Probably is going to build a mill on the berries there. Rocket cart's on the way. I don't mind the rocket cart. Ram is better against the building, but rocket cart can snipe the villager here. Stark is chopping a tree, though. He thinks he clicked the wall. He's chopping a tree. And now he drops a house. A T90, I could not live next to a good restaurant. OMG. Yeah, that would probably be the worst part for me about living in a city. That or a good bar, yeah. Actually, that'd be awesome. Actually, I take that back. I would love that. That'd probably be a little... I'd be like the elephants in the community game last night, though. Be a little too thick. Stark's doing the right thing. He's trying to prevent any more siege from hopping out of there. But Dennis is just rolling right around. Dennis did not waste much time there. And he's dropping a second TC. Over here as well. He's going on a wood line, a golds, also on the deer. Dude, that is a great TC spot. Stark will also never find that. Like, later on in this game, Stark's going to make army. He's going to make it now. Stark's never looking there. That's a really fun spot. And I think Stark will have his work cut out for him to put an end to this push, but I think he probably can do so. That's not going to be how. Dennis just has to be careful. You do not want to lose your Fire Lancers. If you lose the Fire Lancers, you have bigger problems because then Stark can just make a Lancer to snipe your siege. These things are so annoying to deal with. They have the ranged attack that will, like, recharge. Stark is just repairing the tower here. Yep, there's the ranged attack from most of them. Stark does not have a lot of res right now, guys. Look at his wood economy. His wood economy is brutal. We're looking at most of his wood economy in this tower. Dennis is going to gain a significant lead off this. I don't think Stark has a market either. Lancer goes down. This is so good. This has been somewhat minimal investment. Obviously, he's made a lot, but still, it hasn't been all in. It hasn't been completely nuked his own economy. And now he's just booming behind. You can start to snipe some villagers now. Like, Stark needs a big shot really, really quickly here. I just don't think Stark ever expected the pressure to get back here. I think double range is fine. It's almost as if you would have stonewalled or done something to stop the pressure from getting in a little bit longer, it would have been better. I think that's the biggest mistake, is he didn't stonewall. He had so much time and he just went for palisades. His eco could have been a lot healthier back here. 3 cav archers for Stark. His micro is good, but it's probably not that good. He did finally build 1 stonewall. And Dennis, he doesn't know he's got the eco lead. He doesn't know he's got the eco lead, at least to the extent that we do, but he's in a pretty good spot. Has more siege on the front. Now he's pressuring the stable. He's hoping to loop back to group up with everything here. Yeah, like, this is the area I think Palisade Wall was fine. I think if you have that much time and you know it's going to be some type of a YOLO aggression, the stone along the front side could have paid off. But it's too late now, of course. 3 rocket carts. 11 fire lancers. Stark needs some rocket cart shots. At least, like, the eco difference is manageable if he can kill this army. And the Khitan pastures are really strong, so he could at least recover with food economy pretty quickly. Dennis sees the tower, also sees the rocket carts around, but he has the hill here. I think maybe it's too risky to move this direction. It's definitely too risky to go for the TC. So maybe just hold the hill. And now a 3rd TC for Dennis. This is sick. Only thing for him is I wonder how many farms does he actually have. Yeah, he's just now adding farms. But you can buy food for now. Eco will actually get really tough to manage. So I could see Dennis having some issues on the fights in a second. Because these vills will finish berries. They all need to be on farms. He's got 3 TCs. They're in different locations. So as he'll look at that, Stark isn't looking at TCs. Stark is massing his army. This would be Stark's time to start to get some good engagements. I don't know about that villager. I guess the villager pathed weirdly because the rocket cart was standing there. What counters this? Well, CA is actually a really decent choice against the Fire Lancers. But then once the siege is there, you have a bigger problem. Your own siege is fine, but because the Fire Lancers have a little bit of a ranged attack, it is awkward. I think what makes this play strong, though, is the fact that the Siege Workshop was built on the front, and he had so little resistance getting into the base in the first place. So Dennis is just using the attack to set up his eco now. He's not really fighting. I guess my answer is you got to hold the map control against it. Stark could have made a couple archers. Stark could have made more damage in feudal. He just kind of sat back, and he sat back and played defensive without proper defense, without stonewalls. So if you're going to play defensive, I like the stonewall option. Rocket carts, though, are so dangerous against cav archers without bloodlines. The Stark is just still stuck on 1 TC, just convincing himself that his opponent isn't booming, right? He's like, he has to be all in. He has to be. Meanwhile, 3 TC booming. Dennis has crazy farms. Dennis is in a 6 spot, and Dennis knows it too. And the score is just widening as well, so he's just like, all right, let's keep it up. Actually made another siege workshops here so we can continue to pressure. This is the last area Stark ever thought he wouldn't be able to take this game. He thought he would have this corner locked up with TCs and pastures. Rocket cart hops out. Fire Lancers chase them down. Ooh, that's not bad for Stark. But it's also not enough to immediately clear it. Let's see. Also, I feel like Stark should have heavy CA right now. It's 50% cheaper. You could click that upgrade now. It boosts the amount of damage and HP your units have. But obviously, he's been under a lot of pressure, so we'll cut him some slack. This is what Dennis needed. The first 2 games, he just let Stark hang around, and they were kind of doing the same things. This is a different strat. It's a unique build, and it's not giving Stark the time to boom. This is perfect. This completely solved the problem that he had in the first 2 games. I don't think he's going to have the easiest time finding this type of scenario in the next 2 games. Just because of the maps, but we'll see. 1, 2, 3 TCs for Dennis. Honestly, wouldn't even hate a 4th here. He's going to kill his own units, almost. It's fine. He did a little bit of friendly fire damage there. Stark thinking about a counterattack. I mean, that would be kind of crazy. If Stark were to run over here with Cav Archers right now, Dennis would panic like crazy. Dennis has no defense. Actually, let's see it, Stark. It's not going to get any better if you don't try something. Full Cav Archer counterattack would hit kind of hard right now, but then his TC is going to die. What a weird angle. We get to really appreciate the trajectory of the rockets. Staring down the barrel of the rocket carts as they fire up that hill. Cav Archers are all coming home for Stark. Stark is scared he's going to get pushed from this angle again, so he drops another tower. You can see the Cav Archers kill the Fire Lancers pretty quickly. But if the Fire Lancers hit the Cav Archers go down as well. That was a really good fight for... Damn, that was a crazy fight. Look how many CA died. He had like 14 CA before that fight. This Dennis also had 20 Lancers, maybe. Micro from Stark is all he's really able to focus on right now. He's trying his absolute best, but a 25 villager lead for Dennis. Stark completely out of his comfort zone. Stark's probably going to be able to shake this off, but at least in my case, if I struggle like this, and it's such an intense defensive scenario where I'm just being all in, I don't know. Sometimes it can affect my mentality a little bit in the next game. Like, it's hard to shake it off. It's definitely a stamina conversation more than, like, mentality, right? It's just hard. It's just so freaking difficult to deal with this crap. Could play its role. I'm seeing lots of randomness to how Stark is having to deal with this right now. Dennis sending in random Lancers into the eco is certainly making that happen. Dennis about to drop a castle here, I feel. And I would say dropping, as we see the rocket carts getting killed, just dropping a defensive castle in front of the starting TC is fine. But if you win this fight, you could drop the castle up here and just win the game, right? And you're winning the fight. So, yeah, go for it. Stark is garrisoned back here. He's losing vills. He's losing a rocket cart. He's losing everything here. Stark is like, how am I supposed to counter this crap? Stark is Twitch chat now. It's actually really insane. I love this. I love the sneaky barracks. I love the sneaky siege workshop. And now a 2 villager castle. Wait a second. No, it's a 3-villager castle. Sorry, this guy's coming to help. After he repairs the rocket card, I guess. Yeah, Stark is dead. Stark is uber dead. What a build. What a build from Dennis. That was really cool. I just think there's a lot of options on things you can try against this strat. And when you know it's coming and you see it's coming and it's like clear as day what they're going to do, palisade walling, having your stable as part of your wall is just not it. Like, you had so much time. You know it's going to be Fire Lancers. He did know it was this pretty early on, right? He sees double barracks. Maybe he didn't actually know about the build until after he'd already committed to the walls. But I would say he needed to give himself a little bit more time. Stonewall the front side where you're going to get that pressure. If you do that, maybe then the damage doesn't get dealt into the back of your eco. I love that from Dennis, though. He got through, and he was just like, yep, here I go. And he immediately moved over to this tower to pressure that back wood line. So credit to Dennis. It's not easy to manage your eco behind that like that. That was really well managed, especially after 2 tough losses. So we've got a series here. Dennis wins this one, but the next 2 games are on Stark's home maps. We've got Stark up 2-1, lost the previous game, but for the first time, we'll see him on his home maps. It's a perfect map for Stark's skill set. Perfect. Also, probably a really good time for me to run some ads. So if you're watching without a sub right now, you might get ads here in a second. Don't worry, you're not going to miss much. Just Dark Age on Shoals. Very defensive map. Dennis has gone for the shoe. I have seen the shoe played here before. This is a more aggressive option. It's not bad. I mean, shoe late game I think isn't as versatile as a lot of civs, but their economy is fantastic. Especially finding their economy is perfect for a lot of hybrid maps. He actually trapped the deer. Did you see that? He had the deer trapped on top of the other deer carcass before killing it. There he goes. But yeah, Shu gets some food income while they chop a lot of trees. Typically, if you're going to try and win the water, you're going to have a lot on wood. So those two kind of come hand in hand. So I think if anyone's going to go Feudal Age water here, I would actually expect Dennis to do so. Italians have a lot of water bonuses, but Italians' bonuses, in my opinion, are better for fast castling. It's cheaper to go to the next age, so that's the main reason. But then dock techs are also cheaper. And all the dock techs are available in Castle Age. So Stark has played this map before. I've seen him play this map before, and he loves to boom. But you can't boom for too long because the stones and the golds are important on the sides. You only have 4 tiles of gold near your base. And then it's all about controlling this area. So what do you guys think is best in terms of the build on this map? Give me your ideas because I have lots of conversations and watch practice games behind the scenes and watch all the public games. And there is definitely differing opinions on what can be done on this map. Some people will apparently go towers and heated shot. That's not what I was going to say, chat, but thank you. Some people will go fast castle every time. Some people will go fast feudal into galleys, snipe some fish, and then add fish. I've also seen players... Like, I think at this level, we're going to see either fast feudal or galleys or fast castle into something. But I've seen Armenians picked here. Galleys to take water, and then fortified churches on both sides. Like, that was a crazy play the other day. And you use the warrior priest to protect the gold. Sounds ridiculous, but it's actually not that crazy if you think about it. It's certainly the player that was up against that was not expecting it. That was FedEx. Had that happen to him against Gabby the other day, so. I don't like Feudal Age rushes unless you're going to go with a forwardville. So I'd actually be okay with Man-at-Arms on this map, but you need the archer range to be forward. Trying to build up with an archer range from home, it takes 6 business days to get to the other side. And that's just not fast enough, so. But again, it's pretty unorthodox, though it can work. And T90, how about crossbows into skirms? Why would you go skirm? Are you just like saying skirms because you're expecting the opponent? You're expecting to need skirms? Like Man-at-Arm Archer, it's like Man-at-Arms to hit their buildings. Archer to follow up against the walls. Nah, it's a reference, lol. Okay, a reference I don't get. Nice wall down here from Dennis. He's got the stone protected there if he needs it. And Stark is up. Wow, okay. So Stark's going to play water. 3 to gold. This would most likely be 2 docks from him into a couple galleys. As for how many galleys, I'm not sure. But yeah, Italians usually are going fast castle. But again, you don't have to. You can do different things. I think Dennis going fast castle is more than fine. He's got plenty of food for it. The walls make a lot of sense that he would be doing that. He's even trying to push in some additional deer up here. Usually the game is a pretty boom game regardless. And with these two, I would expect the game to go to the Imperial Age. So the previous game, Dennis was able to end it before that. So my prediction from Stark here, 2 galleys, and then immediately fishing ships to follow it up. Because there's a sea tower here which protects the fish. Your galleys prevent the fish from moving out to the other areas here. Actually, Dennis just finished that. Oh! Okay. At 2 galleys into fishing ships so you can freely fish yourself. I don't think more than 2 galleys really do a lot here. Oh man, Stark's scout is super close to that TC. But it doesn't get shot. I think it was out of range. He's running in to see what Dennis is up to. Dennis does not have loom. Dennis's scout is around. He should probably protect that with the Vils. And he does. He doesn't want any feudal age hits there from Stark. Stark could get trapped in here. He has to be careful. Scouts are so important on this map to prevent relics from being brought in. Seeing when players take the other side golds, what their builds are going to be. Stark's adding more galleys? That's really weird to me. I mean, 4 galleys isn't that extreme. But what does 4 galleys do for you that 2 galleys doesn't right now? He might have been expecting... I think he was expecting Dennis to play water a little bit. And so to protect from that, he added the additional galleys. He already sniped 1 fishing ship, and Dennis's fishing ships are just kind of hiding out here. But yeah, I think now Dennis can make fires in his dock and try and get into War Galley, but that's kind of tough to get that full War Galley upgrade. It's funny, but this is the opposite of how I expected them to play. I thought the Shu player would play galleys, and the Italian player would try and play fires. But Stark's eco should be really smooth here. Also has walled the sides. Also his scout is running home. Should be able to save this. I'd also expect that Dennis will not make the mistake to run into the TC or into the tower. If they practiced at all, they know how important it is to keep this alive. Oh! Oh, Stark tried to bait him big time there into the tower, man. You had galleys, you had the tower. Stark has to be careful, though. Why is he over here? Is he going to bring his galleys over? Is he going to run to the middle now? He's like, come on, you've got me, bro. You've got me. Just kidding. Go to the middle. Stark! What? He's really making me think he's going to lose the scout. Oh, that's just... you can't have that happen, man. You had the TC to run to. You had the tower to run to. You had the galleys to run to. I think he forgot that you can run into the middle there. Well, let's see how this goes now. Dennis is going to be up. Dennis is going to have a couple fires, and he will go for War Galley and hope to kill all these fish. Stark's eco will still be amazing. I think Stark could maybe make some fires now to protect from that. You can see the dock. He just lost a galley to the sea tower. Ooh, and did he see this Vil? He can't actually do anything about it. Stark queues up 2 demos? Interesting choice. And he knew the flag was there, so he's expecting some pressure. Second TC now from Dennis. And Dennis is on the right side with 1 Vil. Okay, next up, I'm ready to name it. I'm ready. It's locked and loaded. She currently has no name. Well, actually, her name is Villager, but this might be a push from Dennis. This could be whatchamacallits. This can be war chariots. Here come the fires. The demos land on both fires, so nice defense there from Stark. Dennis needs to win this game. That is a crazy move if he were to run in there. Honestly, could have gotten away with it. And runs all the way over here. Yeah, this is for a siege push. Another demo from Stark. Stark doesn't have a lot of protection for these fishing ships, though. But the sea tower and those galleys might be enough with fletching. Stark's letting his fishing ships tank some of the damage there and adding the fires. And yeah, Stark holds. Stark makes it up to the next stage. It's obviously way later to the second TC. But the food eco is much better for him. Siege Workshop now from Dennis. I just wonder if Stark saw any of that. We didn't have anyone sub for that. Okay, I'm going to name this after me. T90. T90 in a different life. Forward Villager. He must have seen that Villager there, and he knows that there's going to be a Siege Workshop. I don't know how efficient Stark's food eco actually is on water right now. He doesn't have any farms, though, so if he loses that, that will be an issue. This gold here is something that Stark would normally have as a fallback, but knowing the pressure will be coming in from that side, he will send the Vils to the north. 2 TCs for Dennis. The TC's way later for Stark, but Stark still has the fishing ships. He did lose a couple of them to some trailing fires from Dennis. I feel like this attack was kind of late from Dennis. I feel like he also spoiled the attack, but could potentially break through. Stark definitely knows something's up and actually sees the house there now. Thing is, Stark doesn't actually have enough on water to be able to clear water because the sea tower's still there. You need about 4 fires with some micro to clear that out. Pretty close game. I think Vil count will be ahead for Dennis big time, but Stark's going to have more golds. Dennis doesn't know the Siege Workshop is there. He sees it now, though. Maybe now he does. And this is not what you wanted. You did not want to be, like, to encounter your opponent with defensive siege like you knew it was coming the whole time. Like to see Dennis's scout get some valuable scouting intel to know about this here. Feel like that's the only area your scout should be, is checking to see if your opponent's on gold. It will run in here. It will be annoying, but the scout's on 2 HP. Save it. Save it. Save it. Save it. Okay, the scout's dead. Never mind. I don't know, man. There's been a couple instances with the scouts this game. I feel like the scouts are super valuable. You could fall back and heal that guy up, but there's so much to manage, right? They're booming, focusing on the eco, and now there's a TC here from Dennis. Dennis should know that there's going to be a TC in the other side now, because Stark would never come this direction, and Stark doesn't have this gold. It's only natural that Stark would be here. Really close game. But Stark still has the water. Stark's losing these houses. Stark happy to play defense. Stark can't land the shot. Dennis knows Stark is waiting. They also have to boom here, right? So it's like, even with the scout going down, obviously I really wanted to see that scout saved. But he's adding TCs, and he's double-checking walls. He's shifting villagers to stone. Once they get some vills on stone, they can start to outpost. Also don't know if Shu get redemption. Shu do not get redemption, so you can't convert this. Italians do get redemption, so they could play into monks to defend from this. I think Stark will need an outpost here. I'm sure we'll see that, just so there's no surprise siege pushes or castle drops. More villagers coming to the gold for Dennis now. And he probably ran out at home. Because this gold is walled out. He did get a relic. I mean, this is a good game, guys. They're both just super solid. That's really nice micro. Super easy. Like, if this is me trying to push, I mean, I would have to give up. Because I'm expecting to lose my mangonels as I'm adding farms or something. But Dennis is like... Seems like he feels like he could still kind of push. Make Stark work for this a little bit. But Stark's getting redemption now. He's also adding knights. Stark does not know there's a monastery behind there. He's probably not expecting it. So, actually, if he were to dive with knights, it could be an issue if Dennis is paying attention. Love the outpost, and I love the town watch upgrade here from Dennis. And I love the shots from Dennis! Dennis with 2 big hits, and here come the knights. He lands in attack grounds. If he converts the other knights, he'll keep the whole push. What? I don't know how he didn't get a conversion there. I think he just got scammed a little bit. But that's still a good engagement for him. I think he'll still be happy with that. That could have easily been all of his monks alive, and those knights are his. And Stark doesn't have any mangonels now. So that puts Stark under a bit more pressure than he was expecting. He wanted to put an end to this push right now. Another TC's coming up for Dennis and some outposts. This is where they'll start to encounter each other in their vision. And I'd love to see Stark think about maybe some more outposts further that direction. There's a scout from Stark. Guess he knows there's monks now, so that makes sense. Game is still super close. I love this from Stark. I didn't point this out. He actually built a new dock. And so the fish is much more efficient there. He also got gill nets earlier. He's, I think, expecting a push back on water from Dennis, which Dennis hasn't even thought about. Does Dennis see this? He does. Oh, man, dude. He's so going to castle drop this, right? It feels like that's got to be his best play right now. His stone count's climbing. Stark actually converts the villager there. Come back! That's me! That's me! Bring me back! No! Stark, you... Come on, bro. Alright, well... I guess that's why no one subscribed to get named her. I'm dead. Push still happening. Dennis has vills here. He almost has enough stone for a castle. He sees farms, too! Oh, yeah, you castle that. It's actually a crazy area to farm. Normally, all your farms are going to be at home. Oh, what's happened here? Dennis took a good fight. Dennis has the knight here. I guess it will die to the TC. He's starting to make some progress. Stark can't farm in his main base because his main base is getting pushed in. He's slowly getting pushed further and further over here. And this is where a castle from Dennis would hit so hard. But it's risky. He has no army. All of his army production's over here right now. Well, I mean, he's had a doubt castle in this series. He's going for the safe castle. I don't hate it if he's going to make army and pressure this in Imp. It feels like on the way to Imp, he can win the game by just removing Stark from this gold. He's already ahead here. People in my chat are going to hate it, but then people in my chat would say, LOL, if he got the castle denied. And they'd be like, what an idiot. So you can't take the risk to run out there when your opponent has an outpost, when your opponent already has a stable, and when you have to win, right? Okay, we had a pause there, obviously. Stark's going for a lot of monasteries right now. So, I don't know. Feels like Monk is the only military option he's really going to depend on right now. He is on the way to Imp. Stark will have the water control, which is definitely a factor here. And there's not a lot of TCs over here for Dennis, so... Still doesn't have that much gold income. It is just going to be monks for Stark. What's the plan for Dennis? What do you make is the shoe here? It's normally archers. It's normally war chariots, only here Stark has stolen one of your war chariots and is raiding your gold. And here Stark's going for conversions. on the siege. Oh! Which he's gonna get. Which he's gonna get. He gets most of it. War Chariot gets killed. Mangonels go down. Yeah, Dennis needs to switch. Dennis needs to focus in the north now. And Dennis is... This is an issue. This is annoying for him. I'm concerned, guys. Like, he's just now building a barracks. So if he wanted the archery range, he needed the barracks up before. It's going to take him so long to push, which gives Stark time. Stark is dropping barracks now. Stark is fine. A castle here would have hit so hard. The Stark's finally going to clear this up with these monks. Monks is just a perfect play. Stark has been under so much pressure, and now he really has the time to breathe, and this is when Stark's the most dangerous. And castle is visible here. Sorry, the barracks are visible to Dennis, and Dennis will add the traction trebs. Stark will see the castle there now. But you can't make regular trebuchets with this shoe, so it's not that dangerous. Stark doesn't know traction trebs will come, so he might drop a castle there. Stark has navy here, guys. That navy can get a lot of value here. And then he can always add cannon galleons, too. So it's going to be condos for Stark. It might be cannon galleons for Stark. And Dennis still does not have a lot of coverage on this side. He's dropping the archer ranges here, man. I don't know. It's looking so good for Stark at the moment. It just feels like the flow of the game, right? Like, it's so tough to know what area you want to build your buildings. I would have loved to see it from Dennis over here to pressure this. But now he's going to need a whole nother batch of archery ranges. And he can't easily send units from these ranges over this way because these war galleys are going to just camp it. Stark is converting houses now. The Stark will probably just think about a defensive castle on this side. And yeah, chemistry's on the way. Stark is going to run across the water to raid this side right now. That is such a big play. That's an amazing play. Yeah, because you can't fight this area. Just raid this area. That's a good castle from Dennis, though. Dennis knows this can be raided. And he also knows that cannon galleons can take down buildings soon. So he's built his castle further back. I like that. Very easy to make the mistake of having the castle on the shoreline, and then you just lose everything. I think Stark's fine to lose a couple barracks. Condos. Maybe not a unit I'm fully in love with here. Maybe I'm too much of a... Maybe it's too standard, but I would actually like to see... Well, no, condos for this are amazing. Long term, I think maybe Hussar and Arbalest is what you want, but oh man, the value. And of course, this is the Navy, right? The Navy broke the hole in the wall. Dennis is focused on the sides. Condos are going to slice up all those vills. Over here, we have Dennis focusing on a push. Here, Stark could actually have some issues, but Dennis doesn't see it. Dennis doesn't see it, and even if he sees it, what does he get back here, right? One archer range got to send army this way. A couple archer ranges have to send armies this way. That's so annoying. And Stark is has his navy on the shoreline. And he's making cannon galleons now. Hoping to get close to those traction trebs. I mean, Stark's eco isn't perfect. Traction trebs are really strong. Dennis is trying to stay away from the water here with this new castle. I mean, Dennis's eco is definitely not anywhere close to perfect either, though. And this could all be pushed at some point. I think this is nice from Dennis, but I think Stark, once he gets his eco set up, can come fight on this side, too. Stark has redemption. He converts one of the traction trebs. The traction trebs outrange the monks, but obviously you have to react. That trebuchet is weirdly positioned underneath the castle right now. But the castle goes up for Dennis. We also have a one villager castle here from Stark. More vills on the way. What is that traction treb doing in there, man? I mean, if Stark loses this area, he loses his gold. But without gold, he could have problems. But no, Dennis, the pathing, the pathing, the pathing! He's pathing into the monks, and he's pathing into the castle. I think he wanted them back. but everything's so clumped up here. The Stark converts another one. Condos into the eco. Cannon Galleons taking down TCs. Even a random white Feather Guard that was converted. This is brutal. Yep, and Stark has Trebs. Stark has kept his castle up. Stark has Bombard Cannons pushing this down. Stark is going to complete this castle. Stark just defended well enough. And he got so much on gold. And he's used the water control perfectly. And the raids have been crazy. I mean, now Dennis doesn't even have TCs where he started. All of his food eco's gone. Imagine, though, if Dennis could have made the most of some small moments in the first or second game. We'd be going to game 5. But Stark has just been so solid today. His decision-making's been great. He's had offense when he needs it. He's had defense when he needs it. His draft has been good. Yeah, Dennis is... He'll never have enough here. His castle will go down. His traction trebs will be converted or killed. And he just doesn't want to accept that he won't be moving on in the bracket. To me, this feels just about right. Like, for Dennis's career and Stark's career, Dennis will still be in Silver League. So there's a lot to look forward to for him being in that 10K league. There's a lot to learn there and grow from. But Stark wants to get back to gold, if at all possible. And who's to say he can't do it, man? Because players who are way faster than him can just never break him. He's so well structured. Siege workshops are down. Dennis is... I mean... Choose your way of death here, dude. He's running this way. Into war galleys. Into condos. He's back in the Dark Age. Okay, but he does have an army of Arbalest, I guess, that can save some of these vills. Ranges are getting converted. The Stark has more traction trebs than Dennis does right now. Okay, but the castle went down at least. So Dennis is like, we've got gold. We've got a plan. Surely this is fine. It's not fine, but he's fighting for his tournament life here, so... I think Stark could just go Cavalier now, right? Maybe you just make more condos. Maybe you make more bombard cannons. Stark just needs to focus all of his attention on the gold. He's basically fully capped at this point. Not a lot more I can say about the position right now. Dennis, 10 on food. He's embracing his inner ACCM here. And Stark's just got to apply the finishing blows. Dennis is pretty dead. I think this says how much it means to Dennis, though. And there's just been so much training behind the scenes and people grinding for this. And it's easy to think in these moments about things that you wanted to go differently in games that were really close. So, I think that's what it is for Dennis right now. Don't think he realistically thinks he has great chances, but he's going to fight on until he's officially killed. Stark hasn't killed him. Stark has done a lot of things that have made it tough for Dennis to kill him, but hasn't officially killed him yet. And GG's called. Dennis taps out. So we'll pull up the bracket. I just want to reiterate kind of what this means for Stark and what this means for Dennis, because it is a unique scenario with how our bronze bracket works. But great series from Stark, man. Look at the APM. I know people like to talk about how speedy people are. There really is not a point that game except for Dark Age where Stark was faster than Dennis. But he didn't need to be because he got the position. He prioritized the water, which he really used well later on. And Stark is just, he's been there. He's done that. He's played so many tournaments. He's been around for so long. I think that experience really pays off in some critical moments. And that's so cool to me. That Stark is, after all these years, still hanging around, playing at a high level. Dennis, he'll get there. Just needs some more experience. So the bronze bracket is a qualifier for the bronze bracket is a qualifier for silver, which is a new league, which will have 24 players and $10,000. If you make it here, so the final four, you are essentially qualified for silver. So that was something that Dennis already did, right? Dennis is already silver kind of regardless. Stark will move on to this area to play the winner of Sorokuma or whoever plays with Moray and No Zombie. You win this round, you hit the qualified part, you are actually moving up beyond silver to gold. The other three are silver. So final four is moving on out of bronze. One moves to gold, three move to silver. And that's how we fill silver. It won't be like this in the future, of course, but we had to create silver and expand the league. So you can see a lot of sets here that will happen, that have happened. I think somebody had brought up Jordan. So Jordan was a unique case because Jordan retired from AoE. We can't just say, hey, congrats, you're back into platinum and kick some other guy out who, deserved their spot. So Jordan's basically working his way back up. So I guess in Jordan's mind, that fast track to get to gold is really valuable for him. But it's also valuable for someone like Stark because Stark was in gold before and he wants to get back. And there's other names to talk about. So, that's essentially where we're at. Now, we weren't supposed to cover this round this week, but I think Stark has a little trip coming up. Wasn't going to be available. So we actually still have more sets in round 2 or the round of 64 that we'll be covering tomorrow. And then in a couple of days is officially when the round of 32 in each group starts. If you use the TTL command, you can look at all the matchups and break it down. But yeah, we've got Fire and Alive already happened earlier. Babarum and Hope is tomorrow. Really good set. Really good set. Moray No Zombie is either later today. I won't be casting it, unfortunately. Or tomorrow. That's also should be an interesting series. Uzi Tomates tomorrow. Crazy set. Crazy set. I think that should be good. I'm saying crazy. It'll probably be a sweep now. But I really like that one. What other sets? I think Niaz and Tofu should be solid. We casted Blue and Demo earlier. Say My Name Gemjack is yet to happen. We've got some more. And then Miguel Nono's might have already started. Consider Miguel a really big favorite there. That's like seed 1 versus seed 14 or something in the group. But still, maybe something will happen there. So